The Battle of Pleiku in February 1965 was a pivotal moment in the Vietnam War, serving as a catalyst for the large-scale escalation of U.S. military involvement in Vietnam. The confrontation began on the night of February 6, when the Viet Cong's 409th Battalion launched a well-coordinated surprise attack on Camp Holloway, a strategically significant U.S. Army helicopter base located near Pleiku in the central highlands of South Vietnam. At approximately 2 a.m., Viet Cong forces struck with a combination of mortar, rocket, and small arms fire, targeting barracks, aircraft, and support facilities. The assault was devastating. 9 American personnel were killed, nearly 130 others wounded, and 10 helicopters were destroyed, with an additional 15 heavily damaged. The attack revealed the vulnerability of U.S. forces and marked one of the first direct, large-scale assaults against an American installation in Vietnam. The response from the United States was swift and forceful. Within hours, President Lyndon B. Johnson and his advisors, including Secretary of Defense Robert McNamara and National Security Advisor McGeorge Bundy, convened to discuss the appropriate reaction. Johnson, determined to project American strength and deter further attacks, authorized Operation Flaming Dart, a series of airstrikes against North Vietnamese military targets. On February 7, U.S. Navy and Air Force aircraft bombed an enemy staging area near Dong Hoi, marking one of the first significant retaliatory air campaigns of the war. However, the situation continued to escalate. On February 9, the Viet Cong struck again, this time attacking a South Vietnamese barracks at Qui Nhon, killing 23 Americans and wounding 21 more. In retaliation, the U.S. launched a second phase of Operation Flaming Dart, with additional airstrikes on enemy positions in North Vietnam. These actions signaled a turning point, shifting the conflict from a limited advisory role to direct American military engagement. The Battle of Pleiku and the subsequent attacks provided justification for a broader commitment of U.S. forces. General William Westmoreland, the commander of U.S. forces in Vietnam, had already been advocating for a stronger American presence to defend key positions and counter the growing communist insurgency. The Pleiku attack reinforced his argument that the South Vietnamese military was unable to protect critical installations on its own, necessitating the introduction of combat troops. Just weeks after the battle, on March 8, 1965, the first U.S. Marine battalions landed at Da Nang, marking the official beginning of large-scale American ground operations in Vietnam. Beyond its immediate consequences, the Battle of Pleiku illustrated the Viet Cong's tactical capabilities and ability to strike high-profile American targets with precision. The attack was carefully planned, exploiting weak defensive positions and demonstrating the insurgents' ability to inflict significant damage with relatively modest forces. It also exposed the strategic vulnerability of the Central Highlands, an area that would remain a contested region throughout the war. For the United States, the battle underscored the limits of air power alone in deterring enemy aggression, ultimately leading to deeper military involvement. In retrospect, Pleiku was a flashpoint that set the stage for full-scale American intervention, marking the beginning of a costly and prolonged conflict that would shape U.S. foreign policy for the next decade.